loves Call of Duty.
Get this straight. Battlefield, a game that has historically never gotten even close to the numbers that COD has pulled over the years, has not only outperformed, but some might agree with me, humiliated Call of Duty with the release of Battlefield 6. The internet is going off on COD. It's exaggerated, it's egregious, it's disrespectful, it's toxic, but I am here for the tea.
Now, we obviously know Call of Duty has had a very, very poor history with hackers. It has not improved that much, to be honest, in my opinion. EA says that 98% of all Battlefield 6 matches were fair and free of cheater impacts. 2.39 million cheat attempts were blocked so far with their Javelin anti-cheat.
Here to do one thing. One thing.
Who was that?
Doesn't matter. Let's move.
You can get around it, and Call of Duty people, the people with no jobs and no life, have gotten around it. So my thought is, these Battlefield saying this stuff, it actually feels confident. Call of Duty used to come out like every 6 months and be like, if you were around during 2020 and 21, they would come out and be like, cheaters, you don't belong here, you don't have a spot here, and then we would just get hacked on for an entire year straight. And they did that like every January. It was like a generic response from the PR team that said, Call of Duty or hackers, you don't belong here, we're kicking you out, we're doubling down on the anti-cheat. And then they would just run rampant during Cold War, Modern Warfare 19, and Vanguard. So a lot of the trust has been lost by the player.
Anyway, their ad for this campaign basically went like this. Hi guys, I'm a cheater. Wow, COD, you actually banned me. I've been cheating my whole life and you actually caught me this time. This is really impressive. This new anti-cheat is working so well. And then some text on screen that just said, we're coming for you, cheaters, or some dumb shit. It's so bad.
Overall, both.
Shut up.
Fine.
Battlefield 6 is doing what COD is absolutely lacking on, and it's stupidly embarrassing. The system requirements for Battlefield 6 were just dropped, and the minimum and recommended specs were just as expected for a modern FPS, with the minimum being an RTX 2060, 16GB of RAM, and a Core i5-8400, and the recommended being an RTX 3060 Ti, 32GB of RAM, and a Ryzen 7 3700X. However, there was one spec that stood out, and that was the 30GB disk space requirement. This was surprising, considering how big this game is going to be and how much large-scale destruction exists. 30GB for a game that's going to have campaign, large-scale multiplayer, and a battle royale mode. Compare that to how big Call of Duty has gotten over the past 5 years or so. COD has been infamous for how huge their games have gotten, with them going way past 100 gigs.
Playing Call of Duty!
Call of Duty 22 Black Ops 2 2 just released, and it's the most garbage campaign I've ever played. What the hell even is Call of Duty anymore?
Flag of the motherland.
It is now an embarrassing nightmare blunt rotation of predatory monetization, ugly out-of-place cosmetics, and atrocious AI-generated content. And the fans are sick of it. The whole internet collectively dunked on Black Ops 6 like it was a religion, and now, everyone's hating on Black Ops 7 as well. I'm talking random commenters, YouTubers, streamers. Call of Duty has gone from a beloved American classic to an absolute...
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait. Hold on. Sorry. Wait. No. Wait. What did you want to tell me?
Battlefield 6 is better!
And overall, the game is designed in a way that makes it feel like every match is a blank canvas. A sandbox that gives players the freedom to create their own chaotic experiences, which makes for some of the funniest clips.
Get ready.
Goddamn plan!
It's not perfect. It could use some balancing for some of the guns.
Time to end this debate. Since the release of both games, the FPS community has been debating as to if Call of Duty Black Ops 7 or Battlefield 6 won this generation's FPS war. But now that Battlefield 6 is consistently holding a 6-figure player count and has become the top-selling FPS game, Battlefield wins.
Gentlemen, I think it's safe to say that we've won this generation. Now hold on. Most of my players are on console and Game Pass. You don't know that. Look at this. Even with Game Pass, it's unlikely you're filling this big old gap. Black Ops 6's numbers were a lot higher too. Brother, I'm new to the streets, and my numbers are already way better than yours. Call of Duty is too big to fail. No matter what we do, we'll succeed. You're really putting that to the test, with making the campaign online only, using AI to make your calling cards, and just making a game that many people are saying feels like a mobile game.
But like, the game or the maps look like genuinely kind of like feel like a mobile game with like HD textures. That's how I would describe it. That's not like I'm not trying to be rude. It's kind of like, because of how the movement works with this new jumping movement system, right? It's kind of like the maps have to just be completely devoid of assets to not get in the way of the movement.
Dog, you can't say Black Ops 7 is good when people are comparing it to Skibbity Toilet.
But what I did see from Call of Duty's Black Ops 7 is a Skibbity Toilet boss fight.
But that's the thing, it's all fake. Remember, Black Ops has always been about psychological warfare. We were brainwashed in Black Ops 1, we were tied to a chair and mentally tortured in Black Ops 2, we lost control of our minds in Black Ops 3, and now in Black Ops 7, we're just fighting a nightmare.
Wait, the boss was a dream?
Well, more like a hallucination. The main villain in the campaign uses fear gas to hijack your senses. This turns your worst memories against you. So the pictures of Skibbity Toilet are just people hating on both Black Ops 7 and Skibbity Toilet.
This is Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Pre-order the Vault Edition and unlock premium rewards. Drop in with the all-new
Black Ops 7 trailer. As a BO2 veteran, it honestly feels less like the Black Ops I grew up on and more like Advanced Warfare, just slowed down. The movement, the vibe, even the tech they're showing off, it's giving AW energy way more than that gritty Treyarch feel we had back in BO2.
Has Call of Duty been lying to us? Yeah. Today, we're diving deep into some big questions being raised in the COD community to find out the truth. We're talking about COD fatigue and whether or not Call of Duty just constantly lies to us, which obviously we know at this point, it's all a crock of crap. We have proof. So we're going to be diving into a video by Exclusive Ace titled, "Is Skill Really Minimally Considered in Black Ops 7?" And you might be asking yourself, Expel, you know, we're talking about Warzone on the channel usually. What's going on here? Well, with Warzone's integration to Black Ops 7 coming on December 4th, we're getting the open matchmaking. Does that mean they're going to do the exact same thing, rug pulling us as they did in Black Ops 7?
now that we've had some proper time for things to settle in. Now, a couple days after the game came out, there was a lot of talk about skill-based matchmaking not really feeling minimal,
and to be clear, I am one of those people that have constantly been saying, yeah, this isn't right. Like, I'm not someone that struggles, and I'm annoyed as hell with there being skill-based matchmaking in the game. I get it. I understand why it exists. But I also think that if you're going to say that it is minimally considered, you have to actually minimally consider that all right? You cannot just bold-faced lie to your community and be like, yeah, so it should be fine. And I watched a video by Merc Music where he actually did some testing himself to compare the differences between hopping into an open matchmaking match and hopping into the standard matchmaking, which, by the way, screw you, Call of Duty.
Battlefield has beaten Call of Duty for the first time. This has never happened before in the history of Electronic Arts, and it's never happened before in the history of Battlefield. Even with super successful titles like Battlefield 1, this franchise has always been living in the shadow of Call of Duty. But in the same year where it was rumored that Call of Duty believed that they were too big to fail, it looks like they finally have. Now, this video is not a post-mortem on Black Ops 7, and it's definitely not another tribal attempt at, hating on a game for its existence. Lots of people enjoy Black Ops 7, it's not for me personally, but if you do enjoy it, good for you. In this case, we're going to be talking about what this newfound success means for Battlefield, what it means for the future of not only Battlefield 6, but also probably the next game, Battlefield 7, and also talk about just how crazy this is. Now, I'm going to start with a statistic that is going to blow your mind. Battlefield 1 sold around 20 to 30 million copies, and we're talking about the Battlefield 1, the game that had one of the most viewed video game trailers of all time, did incredibly well in terms of online sentiment, and is universally raved about as being a fantastic shooter. That game sold around 20 to 30 million copies, and went up against a Call of Duty at the time that wasn't particularly popular in Advanced Warfare, but still didn't even get anywhere near close to outselling them that year. So you might be wondering, well, just how successful is Battlefield 6 then? Well, Battlefield 6 outsold all of Battlefield 1. The 20 to 30 million copies that Battlefield 1 had sold in its entire life cycle in just October 2025. We are talking about a game that sold 7 million copies in 3 days and then managed to grow that to in between 20 to 30 million copies in October alone, which is incredibly impressive. And to give you an idea of just how impressive this is, Battlefield 6 has produced the highest single-month US digital and physical sales for a game in the last 3 years.
Hey, I seriously have so many receipts that contradicts or counteracts what Treyarch have said. And yes, they actually spoke. Believe it or not, when their sales are down like 63% or whatever, they talk to us. It's insane. But yeah, it's true. They actually responded to Exclusive Ace's video on his matchmaking tests, where he basically proved, with a small sample size, but still proved, that skill is not being minimally considered. This matchmaking is not the same as the beta. Now, I think there are two types of people that still fuck with Call of Duty nowadays. The first type will never believe anything they say because they have lied so much. On record, they've gotten community noted, for God's sake. And that's fine. And then there are people that are going to believe everything they say, no matter what it is. Because why would the $1 trillion company lie to you? These two types of people will be the context for the entirety of today's video. Without further ado, though, let's get right on into the meat and potatoes because, viewer, I got a lot I want to get off my chest. Believe it or not, I actually try to stay in the middle. It's not my fault they lie so much, is all I'm going to say, but I do stay in the middle. And I say that because in the Black Ops 7 beta, and I went on record to say this, I said, in the Black Ops 7 beta, it feels like the skill part of the matchmaking is just flat out off altogether. I tested it pretty extensively. I played for hours and I'm like, yeah, it's either off completely or it's the same matchmaking we got pre-2019. Black Ops 4 and back. That's what it felt like. Instant matchmaking times. I'm talking like 3 to 6 seconds, usually. Rarely would it ever go into the double digits for searching for a match. In the beta, they were 100% telling the truth as far as I can tell. The issue is that they're not consistent. They're not consistent with their explanations. They're not consistent with their COD updates Twitter. They got community noted. Like, let's really think about that. Just a year ago, they were community noted with hard evidence. I have covered so many things they have blatantly lied on. I've covered the lawyer talk, the legal speak, the legalese. It is not a consistent thing that they do, telling the truth, I mean. So I understand why people are skeptical. They have earned that reputation. But regardless, they didn't publicly address this. They privately sent an explanation to Exclusive Ace, and then he tweeted a response out, which is just, again, it's weird. Why would they go through Charlie Intel? I covered this in the last video, but why would they go through Charlie Intel to announce these changes? Why are they going through scapegoat YouTubers and social media influencers to relay these messages? Why can't they do it directly?